Good people of YouTube, I'm the Watch Idiot, and I'm back after a week off over here. It's just been an insane last couple of weeks over here, but yeah, I've got a watch that I've been wanting to do for such a long time because I got this GW5000U over here back near the end of July, and I mean, it's been on my wrist for quite some time. So in this video, we're gonna get into what I love about the GW5000U and also what I don't like about it, although that section is gonna be pretty short because it's an awesome watch all the way around. Yeah, and also all my points also go into why I think that this particular G-Shock is worth about $300 on average online, which is quite a bit more than the rest of the resin G-Shock squares. Oh, and this version has the upgraded 3495 module versus the older 3159 module on the non-U model. So yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about that. It was a super low-key release, but I mean, the upgrades were like absolutely perfect for me. So yeah, let's get into it. So here are the dimensions, and the first thing I have to say is that the dimensions for, all squares in general are pretty misleading because on paper, it looks as though it's gonna wear absolutely enormously. But I can say that it doesn't wear that big at all. It's hard to describe, but I really do think that any wrist size can wear this watch so long as the straps curve down nice. For me, the watch visually wears only a bit bigger than the outer edges of the bezel, which is 38 millimeters, and smaller than the 42.7 millimeters with the button guards on the ends. In my mind, I wear this as a 41 millimeter watch, just about. Of course, it still has quite a bit of wrist presence because it does cover a good amount of surface area when it's on your wrist over here. But definitely, I mean, if you look at it over here, it doesn't wear crazy at all. It wears pretty awesome. So before I got the GW5000U, I had quite a few other G-Shocks, like the DW5600, the DW6900, the absolute classics, the GWM5610, the blacked out version as well. So yeah, those on Amazon, start at maybe around like $40-ish sometimes, and then they range up to about $100-ish. And also, just a heads up, I have all the links to them down in the description. So yeah, obviously I was thinking about what could possibly make a G-Shock in rubber worth $300. I must say that the difference in overall feel, especially because of the strap, is absolutely just night and day. I mean, yeah, the cheaper G-Shocks are made of resin, which is a little bit stiffer. They're still comfy though, but the GW5000U, on the other hand, has an upgraded rubber strap, which is much more supple and it resists getting shiny after much more use. Also, the other big difference is that the regular versions have resin cores with screwed case backs, whereas this version over here has a steel core with a steel screw down case back. And yeah, I mean, this adds a very nice bit of heft to the watch, and overall, it adds to the feeling of quality of the watch. So it weighs a little bit more. I mean, it's about 76 grams, so it's actually noticeably more than the regular squares, but I mean, still 76 grams isn't very much at all in general, so it still is super comfy on wrist. I mean, it's ridiculous. And so yeah, as a package, you can pretty much instantly tell that you have a special G-Shock. I mean, yeah, totally worth every penny of $300 without a doubt. So this can also be applied to, many of the other G-Shock squares out there, but I just love the look of a G-Shock square. When I think of G-Shock in my mind, I mean, this is what I think of. And the next up would be the DW6900. But yeah, I mean, I just love seeing such an iconic shape on my wrist. So more specifically, I love the colors as well because it's all black, which is classic, and it's got the positive display. I mean, I still love the negative displays, but I mean, positive is a little bit more useful. But compared to other similar watches, it's got that awesome looking gray border on the screen, and then also the solar panels underneath add a cool visual element just because they have this super deep purpley look to it. So next up, I absolutely love the look of the screen as well, just because it's It's a clear upgrade compared to the non-screwback versions. The gray is super clean. I mean, the numbers are far more crisp than the regular versions, and it's an absolute joy to look at any time of the day. In the end, having a digital watch like this will come with a whole lot of utility, and it's awesome to have so many things available to me, right here on my wrist. I love having multiple alarms, and also the hourly chime is super helpful. I mean, for my all-night editing sessions. And of course, it's awesome having a clear and accurate chronograph. I like having the multiple time zones. I like the timers as well, the 24-hour display. And yeah, just the rest of the spec sheet at this point is just awesome. But more specifically, what I love about it is that it is a tough solar watch, which means that so long as you wear it outside, every once in a while, you pretty much don't have to worry about, the battery dying on you. And of course, there is the multiband 6 feature, which in the US lets the watch receive atomic radio signals from Fort Collins in Colorado every night. So that means that you pretty much will always have a watch that is accurate down to the millisecond. Oh, and as far as utility goes, I love just knowing that this watch can go through literally anything and it will survive. So yeah, I don't have to think twice about wearing it. So next up, we have the brand new 3495 module in this compared to the GW5000 with no U, and also all the rest of these ones without a U. So yeah, I mean, it was a super quiet release. I mean, I don't think barely anyone talked about it, but it was a super crucial upgrade for me, to the point that, I had a GW5000 no U, and I actually returned that and waited for this one to come out over here just because of this upgrade. So the biggest upgrade is the fact that when you're using the stopwatch, the current time is displayed on the top right, which is so awesome. So awesome, because I need both of it when I'm using the chronograph function. Previously, in the last generation, that section at the top right was used for the hour display. But honestly, in real life, it's completely useless, because I mean, I don't need to measure, things down to the millisecond. And even if I did need to measure something down to the milliseconds, if I'm doing that, I mean, for sure, it won't be something that I'll be timing for over an hour. I mean, let's be real. So the next thing that I really, really like is that the day of the week can be shown in 6 different languages. It's English, Spanish, Italian, French, German, and Russian. And yeah, I mean, for those of you, who have seen my previous videos on the Islanders specifically, I mean, you'll know that I'm an absolute sucker for bilingual day wheels. So in a way, over here, I've got 6. Also, something for those of you who are, just, outside of the US, you can also change the date format, because before it always used to be the month date, the way that we have it here in the US, but now you can have it date month, which is pretty cool. So this is a very minor dislike, bordering on being a nitpick, but yeah, I mean, I guess the fit isn't quite as good as it could be. The other non-screwback versions, are a bit thinner because they don't have that screw-down case back. So the thickness in and of itself isn't the problem on this watch over here. Problem over here is the extra thickness of the case overall is paired with a strap that's the exact same dimensions as all the other squares. So in the other squares, it fits perfectly because it's a little bit thinner, so it's a bit looser overall, but this one is a little bit tighter. It's not that big a deal, but it could have been a bit looser and it would have been even better. So this is just purely personal preference over here, but I think that it would have been nice just to have a little bit more color over here. I mean, just because the only bit of color over here is the red trapezoid under the shock resist, which is, I mean, so dark and so small that it, barely registers as a color. I mean, the GWM5610 has some red and blue here and there, which gives the watch, a bit more of that G-Shock charm. And, just because, in my opinion, I think that a G-Shock means having just a little bit extra, like, colorful flair to it. Obviously there are watches that are full on color, but just a little accents over there can really go a long way to change the overall feel of a watch and just make it more fun. Of course, obviously I am a big fan of the color gray, so I'm not really complaining overall, but yeah, I mean, just once again, just a little bit more red, maybe, something like that. So if I could only own one G-Shock for the rest of my life, it would be this GW5000U, without a doubt. I mean, I would choose it in a heartbeat. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much perfect for any situation that I would want to wear a G-Shock in, and then also the feeling of quality and the just overall premium feel of it is just ridiculous. And then finally, it's got a very direct connection to the history of G-Shock, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, let me know down in the comments what you think about it, and also if you have one, or if you want to get one, or if you think that it's a complete waste of money compared to the GW5600, which I love, by the way. So yeah, as always, if you're at this point, you know, you probably enjoyed the video, so definitely hit the like button. And also, if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, the notification bell while you're at it, because why not? And also, it helps the video reach more people who would want to see this kind of stuff and who would be interested in G-Shocks and stuff like that, or just any watches in general. And yeah, it helps the channel. And also, it helps the channel grow immensely. So yeah, until the next video, good day.